Hi guys, welcome to Cumbrian Lad Outdoors and welcome to today's video. Now today we are going to be doing something a little bit different on the channel. As you can see, we're back at the yew tree barn at Low Newton. As many of you know, I was here not so long back and I made a fire poker and a adjustable cooking station for my woodland permission. So we've returned today. And what I'm going to be doing is making a little steel striker for a flint and steel. I wish I'd recorded last time I was here, so I'm definitely going to be recording today, so hopefully it'll be of a little bit of interest to some of you. So yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a look around the place and then we'll head up to the Bespoker's Forge where I'll introduce you to John and show you what we're going to be doing for the day. So yeah, yew tree barn sells a lot of old style troughs, bits of stonework, reclaimed items, metalwork, all kinds of stuff really. There is food, we've got a pizza place there, there's a little cafe inside where we've got a little gallery and all sorts. It's not open just yet, but we'll maybe get a quick look in later on. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. We'll just have a walk up the side here. You can see there's all kinds of stuff from seats to benches, like I say, reclaimed metalworks. Architectural stuff. Yeah, lovely little place to come and visit. And as you can see up in the corner there, we've got the Bespoker's Forge where myself and the missus are going to be spending the day. So we'll have a wander up there. Right, so here we are inside the Bespoker's Forge. As you can see, forge is going well with the cork on there. My good lady has made a start on making some bracelets for the day. As you can see, we've got some proper anvils set up. We can see here some examples of work that's already been carried out. So we've got some pokers, ram's head pokers, a peony there, all kinds of stuff really. But we're going to be making today something like this, a steel striker for a flint and steel. We're going to be making it out of an old file, so it'll be high carbon steel. And obviously something like this is going to be far more personal to me when I'm out in the field using it. So yeah, just while Tina's getting on with that, I'm going to introduce you to John. So John, if you'd like to just explain to the ladies and gentlemen what you used to do for a living and why you set up the forge.
Yeah, yep, John Law, Bespoker's Forge. Started out life as a mine clearance diving officer in the Royal Navy. Did that for 26 years. Then went and worked for a diving company for 5 years and started doing this as a hobby in my garage. Realized that it had some legs and I'd be able to make a go of it. So decided to do it full time, and that was about 8 years ago. So I got myself set up in this old barn here at Yew Tree Barn near Cartmel in Cumbria, and I've been doing it since then, doing craft fairs, commissions, supplying to several shops in the area, and as we're doing today with yourself, Paul, and Tina, doing courses as well.
So, absolutely living the dream then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just get my music on loud and go into my happy place, just making stuff.
So this is going to be my workstation for the day. As you can see, we've got an old file there, and that's what we're going to be turning into the steel striker.
I'll show you the first stages to start with, yeah?
Okay.
Now, you've never worked with this before, have you? High carbon steel.
No.
It is very different than mild steel. It's chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
Okay. You only get a fairly narrow window within which to work this. If you work it too cold, it'll just snap. If you get it too hot and start working it, it'll just crumble. Okay, so you've got to just work it within a certain window. And what you want to do, you want it in a kind of cherry red, orangey kind of color. Don't take it into yellow, up into the yellows. So I kind of want to work from that middle outwards and make a point on that end and a point on this end. You've got to keep alternating it as well, between on edge and on the flat, to keep it the same thickness. You'll find when you start hitting this, it's a lot different than hitting mild steel as well. The stuff is a lot harder. So as I'm getting more and more of a point on this, I need to not let that point overheat. Yeah, just keeping it at that nice sort of orangey colour. Off it as well.
Yep.
We're getting there. The finer you make this, the finer sort of pigtail little detail you can put on the end of these tapers as well, which is nice. But you know, you got to keep your courage with it though. The finer you make it, the more susceptible it's going to be to breaking.
Yes, although I've done one course and learnt the basics, obviously John's just shown me how to work through what I'm going to be making. So yeah, give me a brief overview and then it's obviously going to be my turn. And I will be far less accurate and take far more time than John does, trust me.
That chalk mark is the middle of this bar, so that's why I'm tapering this out from there, if you like.
Okay.
What I want to do now is leave some bulk in there, but I kind of want this to taper more finely now, so that I can bend all of that round into the handle parts. So I'm now going to work more, leave this bit here, and I'm going to work more on this bit. So I think I'm going to leave that at that.
So that's one side
done.
Done.
So I now want to do a mirror image of that on this other side.
Yep.
Thing you can't do with high carbon steel when you're working it is quench it at all, because you'll just make it go very brittle.
Right.
So you're never able to quench it while you're working on it. You
Right.
only can quench it at the end when you're finished to harden it back off again. When you quench carbon steel and you don't temper it, which is then to bring it back to a usable hardness, it's called glass hard. And as the name suggests, if you hit it, it's almost like a piece of glass, it'll just break.
Is that alright for the colour?
Yeah. I wouldn't take it any less than that. Yeah. Start right on that corner. Knock that corner down. lightly flattening them off to almost make it look more like a chain. Plastic, like a bit of plastic. Taper that out and put a little curl on it. Whatever you want to do with it.
I'll do that next.
If you want to straighten that, that would be a good idea. Because it would give this nice twist that we've done as well.
It's old fashioned. I'll just pull that all out. So literally, instead of replacing it,
now. So as you can see, we're just about there with the first side, just a little bit of finishing off to do on the point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to knock the camera off, because obviously I'll be replicating that on the other side. So once I've got to the same stage as John's got with his, and we start to do some more finer detail, I'll bring you back and show you what we're doing. So that is both sides done and fairly even. So we're just about at the point now where we can move on to the next stage in making the steel striker. So looking at the one that's already been made, the next step is going to be making these curls here. So once again, John is going to show us, and then I will copy. Simple as that.
So what we need to think about now is this overall shape. So this is going to be the top, that bit there. So these are going to bend up that way. So we need to think of which side these are going to go on. Yeah. So if you think of that straightened out, they're round this way, aren't they?
Yep.
So we need to hold it like that and do the little turns that way on it. Got that at the moment, which I think I might leave it at that actually. Okay, so we want to do exactly the same on the other side now. So what we need to do now is make that do that. So these are going to have to come up and around now, like that. It's going to go on the anvil that way, and I'm going to start bending that down that way. Now what gets really tricky with this is normally with a piece of mild steel you would quench that pigtail so that you could actually bang on it without damaging it. I can't do that, so I can only hammer on this up to that pigtail on there. grip, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does.
So what I'm going to have to do is bring that right over. But I can't bang on that, so I'm going to be heating that up and then basically pulling it over with some pliers or tongs.
Right.
To do it.
Right, so that's us halfway through the day. We're just going to stop and have some lunch, which is also included in the price for the day. So I'll take some photos while I'm in there, let you see what's on offer, and then when we come back after dinner, John's going to finish off his, and then obviously I'll start twisting and turning mine as well. So let's go and get some lunch.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the heat in this branch here, if I can, without burning the pigtail. And then I'm going to put it in the vise very quickly over here. And I'm going to use the tongs to pull that round.
Easy as that.
Okay, so I'm not going to quench that or anything yet. We'll come on to that for the next stage, which will be the hardening of it.
Yeah.
And the quenching. We'll do that in oil, like I say.
Right, my turn to do all the twisting and bending now. John does make that look very easy, so he's probably going to have to keep a close eye on me and make sure I'm getting the heat in the right places, and keep me generally pointing in the right directions. Like that, and tapping it that way.
Yep, you might want a little bit more curvature in that first, because that's going to be quite a tight little thing.
do one first and then
Yeah.
and then decide what one.
A bit of a prototype, and then you can.
You thinking somebody's coming up, but it's actually just a.
It's a flap of
Yeah.
material. It's actually a really good practice working on trying to do something. Yeah.
No.
Don't worry if you can't get it all in one.
I didn't get any of it.
I don't think I maybe had it hot enough.
It's getting nice that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, we can next.
Where's that
Get
now?
off!
Blackwell.
Yeah.
Blackwell,
Oh, right.
the arts and crafts house in London.
Yeah. Is that a big one?
No, it's quite a select little boutique kind of one. But I sell stuff in the shop. There we go, right?
So yeah, just a few little alterations after that bend, but as you can see I've got one side done now. So I'm going to switch the camera off, do my best to mirror the other side here, and then I'll bring you back. Right, so with a little bit of tinkering, I've kind of got mine as close to where I can get it as I can. It is slightly offset one side, but that'll do for me. So what we need to do is quench it. We're going to be quenching it in oil. Apparently that's the way to do this high carbon steel, and then we'll get it polished up.
What we want is, I don't want that serrated edge on there, and this is actually in a softer state now than when we harden it. So it's best to do any grinding or anything like that now before I harden it.
So you don't want that
So
rough edge.
I'm gonna smooth that off on the linisher,
Right.
and just get a nice smooth edge on that. You see these very, very sharp sparks?
Yeah.
It looks very intense. That's one of the ways of telling that it's high carbon steel.
Yeah.
A piece of mild steel has much more orangier looking sparks, and not as sharp and bright. There's a temperature with carbon steel, high carbon steel, which is called the critical point, or the critical temperature, and that's when a magnet no longer sticks to it, and that's the sort of heat that you would harden and temper it at. But I'm actually going to take that a little bit beyond that for this, because if you really, really want a really hard quench, you want quite a large grain size in the metal, and you get that by doing this.
Yeah, so that gives you guys an idea of what kind of temperature that steel was getting to inside the furnace. Or inside the forge, I should say, sorry, not furnace, forge. Yeah, and I can guarantee you this does not smell good. It smells like I've been cooking, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is just the same with mine, and then polish them up and then give it a go. So yeah, just burning up after we've cleaned it up. Just burning off the excess oil.
You can see the nice.
Yeah, see the old markings off of the old file that we've repurposed. So obviously that's John's. We still need to do the same with mine. And then the big moment of truth: can we make a spark with it? So there we are, that's my striking steel all done, polished up and ready for action. As you can see, we've got a piece of flint here. Unfortunately no char cloth or anything like that, but we shall see if it'll make a spark. Right, let's see if we can get a spark. Perfect. Now to that. So yeah, me and Tina have had a thoroughly enjoyable day. Thank you very much to John for showing us what to do and keeping us right again. What I'll do is I'll put a link to John's email, phone number and website and stuff in the video. So if anyone's fancying having a go, then they can get in touch. And like I say, yeah, a little bit of a different video, but I'm hoping some of the more bushcrafting people find it a bit more interesting. So yeah, thank you very much for clicking on today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. So once again, until next time, stay safe, much love, with my Cumbrian lad and John.
Bye!